Welcome. Azusa Pacific University policy mandates that all employees must attend a safety-related orientation upon hire and every year thereafter. In dining services, this is really important because we are a fast-paced organization and the equipment and surroundings will be unfamiliar to many of you. For returners, things generally change, and you too may need to work with new equipment. So our orientation is required at first hire and every fall thereafter, when new policies and procedures are usually instituted. The first fall presentations are held on campus at the beginning of the semester to make your onboarding as simple and complete as possible. This presentation is the first of 4, and it discusses the general organization, locations, and ethos of hospitality services. Part 2 talks about food safety, how to keep your customers safe from foodborne illness. Part 3 covers physical safety information, how to work safely in your workplace. The last presentation is about your rights and responsibilities as a dining services employee. In addition, watch the introduction video, which will acquaint you with the various venues and managers at APU Dining Services. There will be a quiz. APU's 4 cornerstones remind us that we, as followers of Jesus, work ultimately for Him. As you work alongside chefs, managers, supervisors, staff, and student employees, keep in mind what a pivotal ministry we have together. In dining services, you will find that you are in a practical learning situation, growing in knowledge of food safety, community relations, and business skills. You also support your customers in scholarship and community by providing healthful food and space for the exchange of ideas. Our aim is to serve in a way that honors Christ and is faithful to good stewardship practices. We intend to keep the cornerstones the focus of our decisions and policies. Thank you for joining the team. The mission of our dining services is to provide a full line of exemplary services for the Azusa Pacific University community in a God-honoring way. Each venue has a similar mission statement to this, which reflects the particular services of that venue. This is probably posted in your workplace. Look for it when you go to training. The Dining Services Employment and Safety Office assists managers and supervisors in the scheduling and hiring process. We work to assure accurate and timely paperwork processing so that the student employees are paid on time. We also help the managers look after your safety and the safety of your customers. So if we request some paperwork from you, please don't delay. It is in your best interest. If you have questions about any of our services, please call us at extension 3112 or email dsemployment@apu.edu. University Services guides the dining venues as well as the bookstore, print and bindery, Evoke, the mailrooms, and receiving. Assistant directors and managers oversee the operations of these areas. The supervisors are staff members, often chefs in the dining services, who are in charge for a shift or of a venue in general. In the larger dining areas, staff members share supervisory roles according to day or time. The confirmation of hire you received in your apu.edu email gives you the name and contact information of your primary supervisor or supervisors. To qualify for employment, the undergraduate student must be both enrolled and actively attending at least 9 units of classes at Azusa Pacific University and maintain a minimum GPA of 2.0. Undergraduate international students must carry 12 units with a minimum 2.0 GPA. To qualify for employment, the graduate student must be both enrolled and actively attending at least 3 graduate units of classes at Azusa Pacific University with a minimum 2.0 GPA. Azusa Pacific University does not employ individuals under the age of 18 with the exception of full-time enrolled students who have not yet reached her or his 18th birthday. Certain restrictions may apply to job duties until that birthday, so check with your supervisor if you are not yet 18. When you received your offer to hire via email from the DS Employment Office, it was an indication your hiring process has begun. You were directed to come into the office to sign paperwork and present official verification documents. If you were hired too late to attend our on-campus orientation and must view these presentations online, you probably have completed your hire paperwork in the DS Employment office at least 4 days before your planned start date. You would then have received your confirmation of hire, which gives you the link to the website and the presentation that you are now viewing. Once you've presented this documentation for a position at the APU campus, you will not have to present it again for any other position on campus, but you will need to complete some paperwork if you get a different job. If you are viewing this in our on-campus live orientation and you know you have not completed paperwork or submitted official verification documentation, you need to meet with us today. You are not hired and will not be paid without this completed paperwork. When you completed your hire paperwork, you received an acknowledgement of receipt of the APU Student Employment Handbook, and you were asked to sign it. This was a promise that you would look this document over. If you have not done so yet, you can go to the resources page of our website to link to it. This is a very important document which governs your employment. You should know what type of information is there. So if you have not yet checked it out, at least look at the table of contents and a few highlights of things that may interest you. As a dining services employee, you are expected to be at your workstation in uniform and ready to work at your scheduled times. Your shirt and hat will be distributed to you when you train with your new supervisor. You need to provide black pants and kitchen-grade slip-resistant shoes and wear them with black socks. If you have questions, ask your supervisor. You need to wash your uniform between wearings so that it is always clean when you begin your shift. This is a food safety issue, so we need your complete compliance on this policy. When you met with your scheduler for shift assignments, you worked around the classes that you have so that in many areas you can work the same shifts every week up to and probably including finals week. There are regulations which restrict the number of hours that you may work. These limits apply cumulatively to all of the jobs you accept at APU and apply to the graduate students as well as undergrad. For instance, if you are a senior working for admissions and SAM subs, you may only work a total of 29 hours in both departments together. Which of the limitations on this slide apply to you? Your confirmation of hire is similar to the offer to hire you received when you first were offered a position, but it differs in important ways. It has information for you to use all semester long. Keep it for reference. The bar at the top of the chart is now green to signify that you may start working the day indicated. This is often the beginning of the pay period in which you attend orientation. Other essential information is here too, including the link to your position description and the deadline for you to complete Respect and Esteem training. You'll find instructions to that lower on the page. The second area relates directly to your orientation and training. Hopefully you've read this part completely. Important dates are in the third section for which you may be asked to work extra shifts. In the fall, dinner rally and homecoming weekend are especially busy and all employees are expected to work extra time. Holidays and the common day of learning in the spring also alter schedules. Check with your supervisor to schedule your shifts. The last section contains miscellaneous information that is also important. Read this entire document if you have not already. We have it on file, so if you need it resent, email to let us know. This concludes Part 1 of your orientation. Please proceed to Part 2.